we'll see if anybody else has one.
Oh, okay.
We'll get back.
Great. Hi, I'm Kara Rose, and I'm District 27. I have a question. Well, why did you choose, you live in Austin, correct?
Yes.
Why did you choose our district to run in? Simply because you don't live here. And I know by law you don't have to, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Democrats in Texas that you can run against, including Wood Goggett that's running. We also have Ruben Hinojosa, who voted for cap and trade. But why? I'm curious as to why you chose Solomon Ortiz. And since you don't live here, how do you know what the issues are for us? You have 3 people that live in our district.
Okay. That question is constantly being raised. I was raised in Brownsville. I was raised in Cameron County. And you can place an argument and say that I don't know the district. Well, you know what? Blake Farenthold and the other candidates have never lived in Brownsville. So the argument could easily be made. They've never lived in a portion of the district, therefore they don't understand that part of the district. So either way we cut it, one's going to lose. Why this district? Because this is the district I went to school in, this is the district I was raised in, and this is the district that I do understand. And I also know that Solomon Ortiz has been there 27 years, folks. I was in 2nd grade when he took office. I still have a home in the valley, and I still have family in the valley, and I spend about 4 months out of the year in this district. And so it does affect me. And I've looked at the candidates that have run against Solomon Ortiz before, and sure, it's your choice. You vote for the candidate that you think can benefit the district, and whether that's me or another one of the candidates, it is your choice. The fact that I'm running in this district doesn't automatically make me the default winner. That's your choice, and that's a right that you have. Now, I know that I'm the most qualified to run against him, not just because my heart is in the district, but because I understand the issues. I understand a portion of this district that I feel the other candidates don't understand fully.
Next question.
No, that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
I was reading your paper, and I love the quote you gave by Ronald Reagan, and I agree with it completely. Ronald Reagan also believed that in a strong national defense, but he also understood about projecting power. And by the projection of that power is the reason the Berlin Wall came down, and the reason we don't have communism in Eastern Europe today. How do you feel about projecting power? How do you feel about the war in Afghanistan, and what is your position on that?
On the war in Afghanistan?
And projecting power as a nation.
I feel that he was right. I feel like this nation is the strongest nation on earth, and it has been, and it's here. It's the strongest nation for a reason. The reason being is that our founding fathers were led by God to do it, and I feel that Ronald Reagan really had an understanding of that. He didn't feel that we were a strong nation just because of our military or because of our capitalism, but because we were backed up by God, and there's nothing wrong with that. Our Father in heaven never says that we need to be weak. We don't need to go out and bully other nations, but we certainly do not need to be weak. And how do I feel about the war in Afghanistan? I feel that at some point we were taken into it, and if our troops are there, we need to provide the things that we need for them so that they can fight the fight and they can do it honorably in the way that they need to. And they need our full support as individuals here while they are over there, because their families and they themselves are sacrificing their lives and their time. But at some point, yes, we do need to say, is this the war we need to fight, and we must pull out.
You did answer my question, and I really would like you to answer how you feel about projecting power. The reason is, as a congressperson, you're going to vote on budgets. Budgets for aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers are what allow us to project power and to extend our power, and so we can project our shores. I've been in Afghanistan 5 years, and I can tell you I would rather see our troops fighting over there, and I would rather defend my country on their soil than defend it on ours. And that takes money. It takes projection of power in dealing with the fanatics that we deal with around the world. So again, would you be voting for those budgets that say, I support a missile system in Europe. I support a good, solid American bases on foreign shores so that we don't have to fight wars here?
You know the issues here, but do you know the issues worldwide?
I believe that given the information and knowing what it is that we need to spend money on, yes, You do. There are three sectors in our economy as far as the federal government that they fund that I think need to be looked at, but they do not necessarily need to be eliminated, and that's education. We put so much money.
No, it's called, did you vote on that?
Yes or no?
Who are you shilling for?
I just want to know, would she?
Let somebody else ask a question.
Well, I asked a yes or no question. We have.
Order, sir.
I just want a yes or no. Would she vote for projecting power?
When she answers her question, she answers her question. If she doesn't answer to your satisfaction, you can take that up with her later. But let her answer the question the way she sees fit.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have to be doing this. Everybody gets one question. Everybody gets one question, and let's let her answer the questions one at a time.
Next question.
What are your plans for reducing the size of government or reducing spending?
I think that we need to go in there, we need to look at the committees, we need to look at what the budgets are, and some of these responsibilities do need to be handed back to the states. So basically, just like anyone would do in their home, they would look at their budget and say, do we really need to spend money on at the movie theater? No, we don't. Same thing with Congress. We do that. We do that with our federal government. Some things just need to be eliminated and gone back to the states. When you do that and you give the responsibility back to the states, then the states, you can lower taxes and the states can keep more of the money so that they can allocate those funds and use as they see fit.
Yes, sir. I'm a native born son of Cameron County. Same but in 1954. Okay? I want to know what your stance is on immigration, anchor babies, because we try to divide it. We go. Okay? And I want to know what you want to do with this problem that exists in your hometown, because I'm aware of what's going on down there. I've got a big ear. Talk to me.
Okay. Thank you. I was down in Cameron County and I've actually spoken to the Department of Homeland Security agents there. They are highly under budgeted. They've had their budgets cut. There's 35 agents serving in the Puente-Bradshaw, Mexico border. And then because of those cuts, they haven't been able to patrol on foot. And they're very limited as far as manpowers and man hours go. Now, how do I feel about anchor babies? I think that is something that needs to stop. You should be a citizen in this country if one or two parents are legally working on and have currently legal paperwork in the process for you to become a citizen. Just coming over to have your baby and then automatically claiming citizenship is not fair. It's not fair for the taxpayers' money. What do we need to do? Part of what we need to do is we need to look at borders. We do need to stop we do need to seal them by getting the Border Patrol or the DHS agents in there. And at the same time, we do need to reform immigration laws so that they are not necessarily let anyone in, but they're streamlined so that people don't have to feel that they need to resort through a process of just sneaking in.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Got the impression at the beginning of your presentation that immigration was your biggest concern, and I don't think that's the biggest concern of the audience. I think we're far more concerned about the economy and reducing the size of government and working against the bad guys.
Exactly. If that's the impression that I gave, well, then I apologize. My first concern is the government and putting a stop to the taxation and to the over-legislation. That's the first things first. That's what we need to do. We need to reduce the debt. We need to reduce the spending, stop the spending. Now, as a congresswoman, I feel that I have an understanding of immigration. And what I would like people to understand is that immigration itself, may not be the highest priority, but the immigration problem does put a strain on our economics. And that's why it's also important to address. And first we go in, we put the brakes on Congress, and then certainly address immigration. Because not just in Texas, but across the borders, across the southern borders, they're putting an economic strain on our financial system.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.